Good evening, it's UPB here, OptionMillionaires.com, October 6th. It's a Sunday night. How's everyone doing? Stock futures down over 0.6%. We're looking to give back some of those gains that we saw on Monday. We're up over 0.75%. We have the stalemate still, the Republicans and the Democrats down in Washington staring at each other, doing the stare off. All right, who's going to flinch first? My goodness. While they're doing a stare off, just somebody, please, just take a jackhammer and just take them out. I mean, this is ridiculous. Okay? You cannot put at stake what has been fought for and people have died for. Okay? The reputation of this country. All these I can't, I shouldn't, that's it, politics. I can't do it. I can't do politics because my head will literally just start rising off my shoulders and I will be no longer here. That's how much it irritates me. But let's move to some charts. Let's hope it gets resolved. There you go. Let's pray for that. Let's look. What we have right now is a long-term chart. It's a 20-year monthly chart. And why I'm bringing it up is because everybody continually over the last 5 years, as we've rallied, this massive rally that we've had, everybody kept calling for a pullback, and we got pullbacks along the way. But look at this. I mean, there's something, it's called the trend is your friend, and continually the trend has been your friend. But let's just look long-term perspective. There we go. A very simple channel. We've broken out to the upside. So to me, this is very bullish. This is very bullish. Maybe we'll come back to this top of this trend line, but I don't think so. I think we're going to continue to head higher, and ultimately by the end of the year, we're going to be about 180 on the spiders. Let's just look at a shorter-term perspective, and I think that's what we're more interested in. Look at this. I mean, this massive pullback. We have the government shutdown. I mean, a lot of headwinds. Think of the headwinds over the last 12 months. We had the sequester, Cyprus, Syria. Go even further back. We had the debt zone, European debt zone crisis. We had Italy, Portugal, Spain. Just go run the list. We had the debt downgrade back in 2011. So the list goes on and on. And look at this pullback. To me, this is nothing to be worried about. Still, even with futures down, we pull back to about 166. Still think we're heading higher. I still think it's going to be a nice sharp rally when it does happen. And look at this. We're getting closer and closer to areas where the market can be bought. Okay, we're down at about 50 on the RSI. But to me, this is a buy the dip opportunity here going forward. And we have the Federal Reserve now pushing back their taper date. Right? Well, we don't know that for sure, but just think about what's going on. Everyone was wondering back in September, oh, they're going to taper. Now you know why they didn't. And with all of the gridlock down in Washington, we know that the taper talk is going to head out till next year. So let's move. We have earnings kicking off. That's really what I want to talk about. We have earnings kicking off. We have Alcoa. Now, Alcoa is not even a Dow Jones Industrial Average component anymore. It's been booted off the Dow in favor of names like Nike, Goldman Sachs, and Visa. We had Hewlett-Packard joining the old kick in the rear end. Get out of here. So Alcoa is really, I mean, this actually was downgraded last week, or I don't know if it was downgraded, but a firm put a price target of $5 on the stock. That's what it hit in 2009. You can see it's really up against multi-year support / resistance. And the earnings report could be the one that sends it down to about $6. And the ironic part is everyone's like, oh, Alcoa is kicking off earnings season. It's going to be the most, it doesn't matter what it does these days, it seems. I remember listening to an analyst a couple years ago on Bloomberg talking how this is going to be a $30, $40 stock again. Well, we might have to wait until it does a reverse split to get those prices. And we have Yum Brands. Okay, so that's Alcoa after the bell. We also have Yum Brands. And you can see it's in this channel. It's bumping up against this resistance line. And we know back in the early parts of this year, we had the bird flu. Back in China there was affecting Yum. So we'll see where it goes here. But you can see it's bumping up against resistance. We also have Wednesday. So let's go to Wednesday. And again, Yum Brands, something you could trade because the volatility is pretty low. Something you could trade via out-of-the-money options for upside or downside. We're bumping up against resistance. We break above that, obviously, to be support. Stock's at 71.53. This is a volatile stock, so we get a 5% move. That would be $3.50. That would bring us about to $75. $75 calls are 32 cents. The 74.50s would be about a 50% gain on that type of move. Again, that's Yum Brands after the bell on Tuesday. Let's go to FDO Family Dollar Stores. FDO. This stock remains above support at 60. Again, just about. I mean, that's just off of all-time highs. And to me, the trend remains the friend. So let's not fight it like everybody seems willing to do in this marketplace. Talking about Tesla. Oh, Tesla, the cars are on fire. Look at this chart. I mean, yeah, we got that one little red candle. That red candle was like everybody thought the stock was going to crash down to 50 in 3 days, right? The minute Tesla pulled back 7%, everyone was like, here it is. This is it. And then 5.5% to the upside on Friday, and everyone was like, oh, well, maybe I was wrong. Yeah, maybe you were wrong for the last 6 months. The stock keeps... Why fight this? Why fight this trend? I brought this up on Tesla. What is it, $150, $130? I did my video, said it was going to be a 200-plus stock, $200 stock. Even when Goldman Sachs was downgrading it, don't fight that. Don't fight the trend. But let's move on to some more earnings. We have this week Wells Fargo, and this is before the bell on Friday, along with JP Morgan Chase. So it's going to be kind of hopefully both of them, if you're in the calls, report better than expectations in the stock rallies. But you can see it's just off of recent 52-week highs. The stock kind of stagnating here at just above $40. Same with JP Morgan Chase after pulling back from the highs up there, 52-week highs. It's pulled back, but still, to me, very bullish. And I think up 1.4% on Friday. Could see further upside into earnings. Again, the calls are going to be really cheap because we're going to have the earnings before the bell on Friday. They're going to be very risky, but I think a trade would be the 53 or 53.50 calls, which are now 50 cents. Those will probably decline in value as the week progresses, especially if we get a gap down on Monday. So let's look ahead real quick. I'm going to bring these up again when I do my video next week. Next week we have Citigroup. We have American Express reporting. These are all reporting earnings next week. We have Bank of America. We have eBay. And look at eBay. See this beautiful channel? See, I haven't looked at eBay in a while, but let's just extend that. See how charts do matter. Look at this. Bing! All right, look at that channel. It's beautiful. That is a beautiful channel. And that goes to show you why you annotate charts. You put lines in them. You stare at them. Okay, sometimes you don't even have to put a line. You can look at a chart. When you look at charts long enough in your life, you just know what you're looking at. So that's eBay. How about SanDisk? We have SanDisk. And look at this. Broke out of the channel to the upside, and this channel has acted as support now. So this is very bullish until we break back down in this channel, and I don't think we will. SanDisk looks like a bullish breakout. That's next week. We also have Verizon, which took on the biggest loan. And you see, this is bearish. Look at this long-term line here. We've broken below it. So we're going to look for Verizon to either maintain underneath this trend line or break downward. We have Verizon next week. And then the headliner is going to be Google. Google it's a mess up here. But again, below the trend line resistance, we need to break above that. We also have CMG. And we have ISRG. This is all next week. So it's going to be interesting. And again, very bearish. But of course, the stock, well, it's kind of melting lower. It's very oversold here. And a couple more stocks I want to talk about real quick. I'll do it in another video. I'm going to cut this one short. This will be earnings and my outlook for this week. I think stocks are going to bounce. I think it doesn't matter what's going on in Washington right now. There's too much money being printed here and abroad. UPB here from OptionMillionaires.com. Everyone have a great trading week. I'll see you in the chat room at OptionMillionaires.com. Goodbye.